Welcome to My Spot Podcast. Today we're talking about self-love, mental health, and relationship communication. Today our first topic is self-love. How do y'all really feel about self-love, and do you really define self-love? How do y'all really define self-love? Y'all really think self-love is about you? How do y'all really think y'all grew to really find self-love amongst yourselves?
Well, I think it starts with yourself first before you can't give out something that you ain't got within yourself. So, and then I think self love grows. What I probably loved myself at 21, I might not I didn't love, it grew while I'm 38. It's levels to it. You fall in love with yourself, should fall in love with yourself on a daily basis.
I feel like, well, my point of view, I feel like self-love starts with family and loving other people. Really, I feel like self love really is defined by loving other people. You really don't know how to love until you love somebody else. How do you know how to love until somebody's loving you or you being loved on? How do you know how to love first? So,
But if you don't love yourself, how do you know how to love other people?
do you think? I mean, that makes sense, but we not born loving ourselves. Do you think we born loving ourselves? We
You
can't
grow
really,
to love yourself.
right? So through them, so I don't even think a lot of adults even love themselves, right? So I feel like it's a growth process. I feel like loving yourself is a growth process. I think life is based upon teaching us how to love ourselves. Because if we was born to love ourselves, that means as infants and as children, we would begin loving ourselves. We will already be born to love ourselves, right? So amongst finding love amongst ourselves, I feel like it's experience that teaches us to love ourselves.
So basically, what you're saying, if going that deep, is like love to you is saying it's learned behavior. Like if you teach a child, you have a baby and you're abusive or something like that, that's what they're gonna be. But if you're teaching them love, that's how you feel like self love is starting as a child. Basically, like
Really, because I feel like I think it is that deep. I think loving yourself and having the experience of love, it is that deep. Because if not, how do you really define love? How do y'all really know what love is if you haven't really experienced it? I think from that point on, we really assuming what love is, right? From that point on, because if you haven't experienced being hurt or you haven't even experienced pain, how do you know what love is? Right? Because if so, man, you thinking this person abusing you, but hey, I love you. Hey, I'm hugging you. Hey, I'm here with you. Now your perception of love is this person is with me. That's why people kind of take abuse or people kind of take people throwing slander or belittling them or devaluing them because they don't really know what love is. Because if you know what love is, then you have to experience love to know love. You can't really assume love. That's my point
I
of
And I
mean,
view.
think that's why you made a good point about learned behavior because when you're young, your parents show you unconditional love.
Right.
And then that's how you know how to show other people love. So really it is technically learned behavior. So I mean I guess you can
both. I would say both. Like you saying with people, and also in the midst of that, you're taught to love yourself. Like you gotta be sometimes selfish. You gotta be selfish to put into yourself. You can't keep just giving out, pouring out. People withdrawing from you, and you gotta restore yourself
because if
too.
you don't pour into yourself, then eventually you're not gonna have nothing else to pour into other people.
I feel like
So it's still self love is still like spending time with yourself.
And I love to do that. Like, let me tell you something. Just 30 minutes, quiet. Maybe it just me riding in my truck, music, or sometimes it can be silent. That's therapy. That's my self love.
it is.
That's my moment. I ain't answering my phone, no kids, no nothing. That's just me putting time into myself. That's my therapy. With no
Mhm.
one else is talking to me, that's considered my self love, me restoring. You gotta have that outlet. Sometimes people have different outlets, but that's just mine.
I feel like we was taught being busy is being at work or you doing something for something else or for somebody else, right? Being busy, but being busy can be you sitting at home doing nothing. That's being busy because now you're taking time for yourself. Now
right.
you taking self love. You can, being busy can be for me. I feel like I'm busy if I'm sitting at home laying on my couch watching TV because now I'm busy. I'm occupied. I got things to do because now I'm taking care of myself. To somebody else, it might like feel like I'm doing nothing, but I'm taking care of myself and I'm
Mm-hmm.
taking care of my mind. I feel like we have to learn self love in the nature of our being ourselves, us just being ourselves, us just living amongst our own time. I feel like being busy to people feel like you have to be a worker, you have to be working for somebody else. I feel like we have to learn self love in the essence of us just spending time with ourselves. If you don't learn to spend time with yourself, you can't spend time with your mother, your father. You can't spend time with your kids. How you gonna go to work? How you gonna respond at your
Well, that's
job?
I can honestly say that's my problem.
What you mean?
I so
Explain.
love myself that it's crazy because I like being by myself. Like
Mhm.
because that restores me. I'm so successful, career driven that when I'm by myself, it's just me, just thinking and I don't know, it's good energy.
Good energy being by yourself, but
But that don't mean I always want to be. I just kind of pick and choose when I feel like being bothered because my forefront is always career driven. So when it's like that, I guess kind of the romantic love comes second.
so if you're career driven, how do you spend time for yourself? Like most people do. Like most people are career driven. They want to accomplish college. They want to accomplish work. They want to accomplish these tremendous things. But when is it time for yourself? Like when do you spend time for yourself?
I mean,
When do
I do
you
that
spend
every
time for
day.
yourself?
Like every
I
day.
mean, when is it calculated and you have set intentions
Listen,
that
I set intentions to stress. I set at 10 o'clock p.m. every day. After my day is done, kids down, clothes out, done or done. That's when I tell my mind I got time to worry because I can't have. I train my mind that way. If something pop up, if something happen, and it get you all discombobulated, anxiety and stuff
mm,
like that. No, I don't even got time for that at 5 o'clock.
why?
Unless it's death. I ain't got time. I'm a single mother, okay, and I'm working. I'm running a business, okay. So therefore, I ain't got time to be like, oh, so and so happened. Oh, it did. It's not that I don't care. It's just that hey, I gotta be focused because every second counts for me,
Right.
So at 10 o'clock, I get back to it. Like, damn, let me call and check on so and so. Let me say a prayer for so and so. It's not that I'm a selfish person, but at the end of the day, that's my self love because
Mhm.
ain't nobody calling and checking on Pam. You know what I'm saying? And it's not that I hold that against no one. It just everybody has a busy life and their own thing and always got something going on. So that's just what it is.
What you had to say on that? I seen you about
Oh,
to
because
say.
you were saying what set like Monday to Saturday or Monday to Friday, I'm focused on school. Some Saturdays I might do like homework. Some Saturdays I might not. I might take Saturday and Sunday as my self care day, but if not, then Sunday is like my set self care day. I do everything on Sundays, and sometimes I don't do anything, and that's self care.
So
Mm-hmm.
let me
Spending
ask you
time with
this.
myself.
So being a young student and I guess in the world, how do you take self love? How do you define self love? I mean, do you see it as it being something real personal, or do you see it as it being your accomplishments with yourself, like your goals and your attributes, or do you see it as a more personal thing? How do you feel about self love?
I think both really.
You think it has something to do with your goals and the
I
things that
think
you
both.
accomplish?
Hmm.
How so? How do you think those? How do you think you having self love that the things that you accomplish has some form of attachment to you being in love with yourself?
Because I feel like opposite kind of. If I don't love myself, I'm not pushing myself to do all of this.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. If I don't love myself, I'm not gonna push myself to do all this. Then if I didn't push myself to do all this,
it's like putting another thing in the bag, and that's just like, oh my God, I'm accomplishing it, because everybody has their dreams and their goals and what makes them. Just like you're doing this podcast, right. That's something you're gonna feel more confident about. You know what I'm saying? That right. you've done it. You started by yourself. Is this the same thing? Everybody supposed to have that self goals, and that just boosts up the confidence in love with yourself, you know.
And that confidence is a big piece of it.
Yeah, of the whole love situation.
So, but why do you think your goals are attached to the love that you have for yourself? So do you feel that if you're not accomplished, you don't love yourself?
If I didn't love myself, I would allow myself to be a bum.
You're right. I would
too. It's not in my blood.
Right. I would feel that way too. I would feel like you just be to me.
But it also could be a female thing. So because it's kind of different for us.
If you're not
business, then like you allow yourself to make like worse decisions, or like not put like forth more effort in anything if you didn't love yourself.
Yeah, most people that don't. Most females, anyways. I'm not gonna speak on males because it's easy for y'all to,
What? What you mean by easier? You gotta
because y'all have a different perspective.
Way. Thank you. And it takes y'all way longer to mature, so it's easier for y'all to slack than it is for us.
We don't have a choice.
A female that really loves herself or is like goal driven stays on top of herself no matter what. You might fall sometimes, but you're right ever falling. Or you gonna allow yourself to fall, and you and then
you gonna learn that lesson once you fall. Because I have failed and get back up. Like when I fall, I might go in the corner, I might cry and be like, "Damn, Pam, you didn't make a smart decision. You fucked up there. I'm gonna brush that shit off. Come up with a new plan at 10 o'clock when I got time to stress. Come up with a whole new goddamn plan."
And I'm not saying it to bash males.
No, it's just a different mindset.
I feel like y'all don't understand, man. Just to even make this statement at all. No, because men deal with a lot more than y'all.
No, a lot more than what?
Than y'all.
Please let that be what you gotta say.
Listen, males
not more than us.
Really? You think not? Males even have to handle the things that y'all have to deal with mentally.
It depends. It depends on the man and the woman. I say that because I feel like I want to be feminine. You know what I'm saying? I don't want the role of taking care of everything, thinking for everything. I want somebody to come in and relieve me that I ain't
dominant mindset.
Right. Like, so if you don't have that, everything falls on you. Like, you get married, right? And then you have kids. So you're like, okay, you're gonna cook, you're gonna clean, you gotta make time for the husband and your career. That's more responsibilities.
I feel like you saying men don't give y'all enough time to be feminine.
And y'all don't. Some men don't.
So therefore you have to be masculine, and you have to take on roles that you feel men should take on.
I think it should be equal, where I feel like that it depends on how people come into it, whatever their setup is. You know what I'm saying? If, say, for instance, somebody say, all right, you both got good jobs, so we both gonna pay half of these bills, split it down the middle. That's y'all agreement, whatever you agree upon. You know what I'm saying? Then you got the old school way that the man gonna take care of everything in the house and the wife gonna be the housewife. I mean, you just don't have it like that.
So do you think a man have to take care of everything in the household? I feel like
I mean, really, biblically?
No, because when you speak about the reason we have to ask this conversation, because I feel like when you speak about men, you have to know what it takes to be a man first to even speak about it.
I mean, because
then you have to know what a man have to deal with to even be a man. That's mentally, physically, spiritually. So when a female speak about what a man do, I'm kind of insulted.
Okay, well, I wouldn't say get insulted, because we can take offense too. Because we feel like, damn, we got so much responsibilities. We got to take care of kids. He want to have sex. He want me to clean. He want me to pay half of these bills. That's toxic. And look pretty. And want us to look pretty. You don't want us to walk around here like no crackheads. So it's a lot on us mentally. But that's why I'm just like, it depends on the setting. It depends on the setting, what you come into. What I feel like, I can speak for myself. is I paid half. It's because I got a good career and he did too. And we had a plan. We had a plan to buy properties all over. So why not help my husband to achieve that's his goal. So you're supporting my goal because of my career. So on the back end, I'm gonna help pay half of these bills in this house so we can have property all over the place. Then I'm gonna do that. You know what I'm saying? Because we gotta go. Because on the back end of all that, and I wouldn't even say half because then you turn around and just be like, well, here go $500,000-$600,000. But I didn't never know when that was coming. I'm just obligated. I not obligated, but I supported him. You gotta go. You gotta, huh?
You saying you felt like that was your right, not obligated.
Yeah,
you felt like that was your right.
Because you gotta go. You got a vision, and I'm following your vision, and I support. That's what you want to do, and I'm your helpmate because that's what I signed up to do. So let's team up. Let's be a team, and let's take over the world.
But that's not the typical household. Typical household husband is not going to be, probably don't even have 5,000-6,000 to offer a female, right? You looking like, oh my God, right? So, but that's being honest.
You're talking about daddy girls.
Yeah, daddy girls.
You are.
But no, I'm being. I have to be. Listen, you have to be realistic across the board.
Yeah.
You have to. I have to be realistic across the board. I can't speak on the car I drive or the car he drive or the car you drive, car you drive. I have to speak on. I have to be realistic here. I have to speak on for everyone. Everybody, husband or boyfriend, doesn't have $5,000-$6,000 to offer their girlfriend, husband, or what now. So let's say they don't. So does that make them a man or does it make them a man?
No, it doesn't. It does still make them a man because as this is where the love grows. When I said how I love myself at 21, that was that level. Then this is my level of being in love with myself at 38. When you get older, your wants and needs change. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. At my age, I don't even want a man to make a lot of money. So like I could be the one to be like, you take care of home, I'll work for us. I could be that way too. Because what I need from you is not money. I need shit that money can't buy from that man. You know what I'm saying? So that don't make him less of a man just because he can't give me $5,000 or $6,000. Baby, I got it. And if you take care of home, like the roles may have reversed, but we're a team. We especially if you're married, you're a team. So it's gonna all work together. You know what I'm saying?
I just want to make it all make sense because every household not the same. Every typical relationship not the same. Every relationship doesn't have. Some people don't even have cars. So I don't want to belittle. I don't want to belittle those relationships. I mean, you can't belittle those relationships because you gotta think. But hold on, because you gotta think about it. I have been in relationships where I didn't always have a car. I didn't always have a job. I didn't always have money.
But that's depending on what the female's looking for.
Right. So I didn't.
And where she's at in her life.
It's been times I didn't have a thing.
And on top of that, where she's at in your life.
But that didn't mean that. Now I hate starting the conversation by saying potential, but not to base my life or to base who I am on potential. But that wasn't. I didn't want to be broke. I didn't want to not have money. I did not want to have a car.
Ain't had that, it's more so like with me. I look at the person's mind. It is the potential because I'll be like, well, let me see what his mind at. He might not got it now, but where can he have us in 5 or 6 years? And how can I help him to get us there? So it's a mental
bettering himself to get there.
Yeah, it's not
you can't just be sitting with him.
It's just not the most females be like, that's some females like that. What you can do. But when you reach the I ain't no millionaire, no billionaire, none. Far from that. But at the same time, when you done travel, you done certain things and on your little bucket list, you'll be like, all right, I just want to do it now with someone I love or spend time with. And even if they don't have all the money, that's the thing, you grow. It's not even like I can't even put myself on a pedestal and say I might not. I ain't gonna say I might not. I don't have everything a man is looking for. It's growth. So it's just vice versa. I could meet someone making $200,000 and I'm making $50,000-$60,000 a year or whatever, and it's like he could be like, "No, baby, I'm gonna teach you how to make some more." All right, well, teach me.
Right. So let me ask y'all. Let me ask y'all this, and this is for the panel. So, do you think self love is driven by those who you have been in relationships with, or family, or is it based upon you as an individual?
I think self love starts within. Like you can't base self love on anybody else. Like it's a process, of course, but like
Come in.
that. I mean, it's a long process because it's like it's a never ending process actually. So like you can start somewhere with self love, but as far as like present tense, like you said, what was the question again? Like,
Nah, I was asking, do you feel like self love is defined by your family?
no,
Or-
it's defined by your mindset and and where you are like presently. Like you know,
Yeah.
everybody gonna have a different definition of self love. So
It's abstract.
yeah,
Most definitely.
Yeah, it grows.
So, what do you feel self love is?
I feel like it starts within you.
Do you feel like it has anything to do with your family upbringing, your friends, or do you feel like it has
I
something to
wouldn't
do with solely
necessarily
with
say
you?
friends.
Why
Your
not?
family, because it starts with your family and you first.
Mhm.
Because, like, okay, so most parents who actually care about their kids show them unconditional love. Then you have some parents who just talk down on their kids, or like they can love them from the jump, showing them unconditional love. But then you also have some parents after a certain age, they start talking trash to their kids. They start talking down on them. It's just then that child gonna come up and start to hate themselves or be insecure about certain things because of their parents or because of some other family members saying something to them. So it starts in that foundation first, the family foundation.
I do agree with that because, like with my
Well, the question was to you, so go ahead.
my daughter, like I always tell her how she's beautiful and she's I even point out different things that's beautiful. Or you have some pretty eyes, or because it's building up her confidence as well as her dad do that too. It's more important that the dad do it than I do it because it just the little girl needs to hear it from a father more than the mother. So he'll call and be like, "Good morning, beautiful. Oh, look at your teeth. You brush your teeth. They so clean." That it all starts. I do agree with Tasia with saying that.
So, all right.
What do you think?
So about
No.
self love, I feel like self love begins with yourself. I mean, if you gave somebody else that power, then that's some power you really wouldn't want to give any person. I feel like
I mean, with your parents.
I mean, I feel like it begins with your parents, right? But it's like a baton when you run a track, right? It's something they hand off to you, right? At a certain age that you're supposed to protect and you're supposed to hold to yourself.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? I feel
So why
like
you mentioned friends?
I mentioned friends because I feel like friends and everybody that has something to do with you has something to do with the way you feel about yourself. Right? It doesn't matter if it's your friends. It doesn't matter if it's people at school. It necessarily every person that you hang around has to do with how you feel about yourself. I say most definitely because I say your friends because your peers are the ones that you probably talk to the most. Your peers are the ones that's probably around you the most. They're the ones that you probably gonna get peer pressure from. Those are the people that
I think to a certain
yeah, that's
extent,
why I said not necessarily
you know.
because most of my college friends are hoes. I ain't know. The rest of the fellas don't flock together. So
I don't know. I can't say that. If they walk like a duck, they all quack like a duck.
That's not true.
And I could be a geese.
So look, y'all telling me. So listen, this is to those watching, and this is to y'all. So you feel like your friends don't have any identity to y'all at all? Do
I
you
didn't
really
say
believe that?
I don't
Like,
feel like
they don't determine my self love.
Exactly.
Right. They don't
determine who I am as a
Like
person.
I'm grown as fuck. Like I'm not about to like seek validation from other people.
No.
That's just like saying.
Yeah.
No, go ahead, speak it. Say it.
That's just like saying. I don't want to think of something too extreme. That's why I said never mind.
Oh, okay then. Okay. But look, listen, the reason I say friends, I feel like they're attached to your love because your self love. If now let's say if you was alone or you was introverted and you didn't really have friends, then that's something different. But if you hang around people that's always in your ear and you out drinking or you out smoking
But that's
or
the
you
thing
out
with me. I'm an introvert. Like I got the same two friends that I done had for years.
Right.
And I could be social, but like what I told you when we started is I cut off at a certain time
Right.
because that is a part of my self love when I'm just when I'm quiet.
Right.
But they don't determine my self love or my decision making action. They're not going to determine how much I love myself.
Right.
Maybe because y'all love yourselves. Now, what about those who don't love themselves and they got their friends peer pressuring them and say, hey, let's do this, or hey, come here, let's do this, or hey, let's come to the club, or hey, let's do this. So everybody doesn't have that sense of emotional intelligence to have that self-preservation to cover themselves and their own mind.
Respect also goes into that.
Self-respect, I totally agree with that. I totally agree with that. Now, not to move on from self-love, but let's move on. Since we deep into conversation, let's just extend this conversation to the topic to relationship. What do you feel like are some of the blockers between males and females? Like, for instance, how do y'all feel like males don't really understand y'all, and how do you feel like y'all understand males? Do y'all feel like y'all understand men at all? Do you feel like females understand men at all? Do you feel like men understand y'all at all?
I'm still learning, and let me tell you why this is because as me raised so close to my granddaddy just took my hand and raised me, and I was raised by a man. Probably a lot of why I'm so masculine like I could be and turn on and turn off because he had just gave me the man blueprint and forgot the woman blueprint of this.
What you mean by that? About teach you to take care of your damn self and
no. Well, he taught me that. He didn't teach me how to be. Let me find this word. How to be a wife. And he didn't teach me that. And he taught me how to survive and how to love. He never taught me how to be submissive to a husband. I seen it with him and my grandparents. You know what I'm saying?
What you mean by elaborate on that? Huh? You should elaborate on that.
Like I had a hard time when I was married to adjust. When you coming from being by yourself and you got one child and it's just you and you doing everything across the board, you making all the decisions, and then you come together with someone and you got to make a decision together, and you like, oh shit. It's not like you got to get permission, but it's kind of like that because it's like, okay, I can't go out here and just go buy this new car just because I want it, because I'm single. No, I got to sit there and I got to communicate. Baby, you think it's feasible right now can I do this? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a whole different level to it when you're just single, or it's baby mama, baby daddy. When you married, it's one. It's what's mine is yours, and vice versa. So when I say he didn't, and he said that he was like, I taught you how to survive, and I taught you how to have these things, but when you get married, you might struggle. And I told him, yeah, I know, because the adjustment of just having a man authority and how a man has to, my love languages of how a man communicate. I'm expecting them probably to communicate how my grandfather communicate with me. He communicate with me. He's firm, but he's not even loud. He don't raise his voice, and I get it. Pam, you're gonna fall off a cliff. That's all he got to tell me. Pam, I'm gonna put you in Jesus' hand. That scared me, Right. So he can say something just that simple, and I'm gonna straighten up. Like, oh wait a minute, I'm messing up here. But if I have a man of a husband and they yelling and saying you ain't do that right, I'm going to act like I got balls. Then what do you mean? You know what I'm saying? Because your delivery wasn't. I'm not used to that delivery.
Somebody yelling at you.
That make a lot of sense.
What you mean?
That make a lot of sense. I'm just like saying, like, now thinking about me and relationships and how I react to certain things. Like what she's saying is making a lot of sense.
What you mean, like how somebody talk to you, the delivery, the words, like what? Like what
not mean? How someone, but how males talk to me.
Very specific. But go ahead.
Yeah.
What you mean by?
Yeah, don't talk too aggressively.
Cause then now I feel like I gotta get aggressive with you. And it's only to males. Well, I do it to females too, but it's more with males. I don't know why.
So do you feel like males don't know how to talk to you, or do you feel like?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, like, we can be having a conversation or we can be having a disagreement. Once you raise your voice, I'm checked out. Because who are you talking to?
Yeah. And it's because the platform was set. Daddies, set the platform that I can be firm, tell you about yourself, and I ain't gotta raise my voice and I can look you in your eye. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So you can't reach us with hollering. Oh, oh
I
yeah.
brought up nose flare.
Then I just move everything out and be gone.
Now I don't agree with the yelling. I don't agree with the hollering, but I feel like that's what y'all do. I feel like females do the yelling and the hollering a lot. I feel like
We need certain females. Say
Yeah.
that. Say certain.
okay, well, certain
Yeah.
females
Because
do.
then some people meet you where you at.
Right. Because at the end of the day, especially if you hollering your temper up, you grow. It's like love. You grow. You be like, I ain't doing all that hollering. I'm gonna tell you what I gotta tell you in this voice right here. And my
Grandma
words,
say nothing.
my words is just gonna kill you too. Whatever I say in this calm voice, I ain't gotta yell. I ain't gotta stoop to your level, even raise my voice.
I feel like, well, this is my point of view of that right here. I just feel like men sometimes don't know how to. I'm not excusing or making any excuse for men. First of all, let me just make a disclaimer. But I just feel like men really don't know how to reach women sometimes. So sometimes they might try to raise their voice because y'all probably are at a peak now. So they have to try to be louder than you. They have to try to regain masculinity in the conversation. You feel what I'm saying? Especially if you kind of, especially if a man feeling attacked, right? I feel like women don't even realize men have emotions, right? They feel like because we not crying and we not really carrying
That's
our
an
emotions.
immature female. That's what I say. When you grow, everybody, that's how we're made. Just because you're a man, you cry, you cut you gonna bleed. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's learned behavior too. Oh, a man gotta be tough and they can't
Right,
cry
yeah.
and all that. That's bullshit. Okay, but I feel like just as well as I got emotions, we might got a little bit more than y'all. You know, because we females, but y'all have them too.
Right. Yeah. Of course. Yeah. I feel like a lot of women don't understand. Not y'all, Asia, but a lot of women, but a lot of women don't understand men have emotions, and we just maybe because we don't respond to many emotions or we don't respond with them in our tears. Like a lot of men respond with them by drinking. A lot of men respond with our emotions by smoking, or a lot of men deal with our emotions. And I feel like a lot of women don't really understand how us as men deal with our emotions. Like sometimes us as men, we just simply need a hug. You just to come in and just give us a hug. Sometimes we don't really need you to say anything or do anything, right? Sometimes you just need a woman to embrace you.
But that's learning
And
your
I don't-
partner. That's that learning your partner love language.
Right.
Just as well as you say, sometimes you just might need a hug. Some men might just, all right, just cook me some dinner or whatever. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Might want to be left alone.
Let's get on. We're gonna talk about mental health. So, how do y'all feel about mental health in relationships? Do y'all feel like most men are really concerned about how women are feeling in a relationship with their mental health? Do y'all feel like women are? Do you feel like women are concerned about your mental health in your relationship? How do y'all feel? Whoa! Oh my God!
We waiting on JJ here.
Oh. So how do you feel about that, JJ?
I mean, my relationship,
Your relationship, don't speak generally, but you can speak on your relationship.
yeah,
also.
I'm just going
You gotta speak on his
Yeah,
experience.
like
Okay,
mine.
you're right. My
Like,
fault. Excuse me.
as far as my mental health, like I'm real big on mental health. Like we communicate, you know, in our relationship as far as like how we do like mental health check-ins, stuff like that. So
What you mean by your mental health check-in? Explain that.
Like-
Explain that. What are your mental health check-ins? Like, your
Like,
relationship,
you know,
your marriage.
yeah, so we like every now and then we'll like just like it'll be random or like we'll just for the most part it's random. I guess like we made it like a habit.
But what happens? What occurs?
So like we'll
during
just
the
say like
check-ins?
right now like this is my mental headspace, like this is
Mhm.
where I'm at, like just because like in relationships like it might be like unknown tension or unaddressed tension. So
Right.
like you might
Mhm.
you can't be a mind reader. So like if you know that you like in a certain headspace, like I don't want to be bothered or just you going through some serious shit. So like you gotta like just do like a mental health check, like I'm like this is where I am. Like
Right.
just
So
like
allowing your partner to know where you at with them or just
Right.
how you're feeling
Like,
in general.
in general. Cause like you don't like just if you like got attitude all week long, like
From your job,
like
or
just
just
from
personally.
whatever, like you don't
Mhm.
know what the hell going on, so it's like just let them know.
So when you feel like you're going through something, do you feel like it should be all about you in a relationship, or do you feel like even though you're going through something, should it still be 50-50?
It's,
When you're in a
it's
relationship,
give and take. It's like it's
no,
not
hold
gonna
on,
always
listen,
be
listen.
50-50.
Turn
Like
on what I'm asking. Let's say you going through something serious right now, right? You have to be going through. You have a definite family, right? Do you feel like you feel like in a relationship, should your wife give you more of her time then? Should she be more attentive to you, or should she still, or should you still be worried about her also, or should she give you her attention fully just because you're going through something? How do you think in a situation like that works?
I don't think you
It
can
depends
like.
on who died.
Yeah, I think it's like
Right.
kinda,
Whoa.
and to like give somebody fully your attention, it can be like unrealistic because like you got life. Like you can't,
Right.
she can't fully give me like 100% of her attention.
So,
But like it's like all about making those adjustments. And,
Right.
like if
Mhm.
like what I got going on. Like sometimes I get
Should
what you're
be
saying.
extra
Like, it,
attentive.
yeah, it can be 50-50 because like to give an example, like if we both going through something, like I gotta be, aware of like what she going through and vice versa. So in that time, like I can't expect her to give me like more attention than what she can deal with herself. Like,
Mhm.
So like yeah, it can be at a time 50-50, it can be like 80-20, or
Yeah.
like
Right.
depends. So.
what do y'all think about that? Do you
I
feel
agree
like-
with JJ because it's a lot of times it's not 50-50. Especially when you're married, it's not. It's gonna be, and that could be in any category. You know what I'm saying? Where, and then it being 80-20 is really can be that way.
I feel like my point of view of that in a relationship, I just feel like if you both love one another, I just feel like give love where it's needed. It shouldn't matter who's giving most. It shouldn't be a timetable of who's giving most love. If I love this person and you're going through something, and I have to exalt myself to help you relinquish yourself, then so be it. I feel like then it should be reciprocated. If the same thing happened to you, then I'm gonna do the same thing for you. If the same thing if you're sick. If you're sick and I'm working, I might have to take off work because to take care of you to bring you back to where you
but
need
that's
to
that
be.
80-20.
And to me, it's the same thing if you're sick physically, the same thing mentally. So if you're going through something mentally, I feel like now you're to me, it's the same lines as being sick if you're going through something mentally. So now I might have to take off work. I might have to deal with you to help bring you back to mentally. I might have to deal with you to help bring you back mentally because now I have to be here to care for you to make sure you're right mentally. If you're not right mentally, you're damn sure ain't gonna be right physically.
I mean,
How you
I
feel
don't know,
about
and I think it depends on the situation because at the end of the day, it's not my job to take care of a person's mental.
mentally?
Now, it's your job to do that. Just like you get into a marriage relationship, you gotta be complete. That person ain't gonna make you happy. They're just gonna be an add-on. You already gotta be happy. So if your mental is up and down, I'm gonna check on you while working, or might have to take a day. But
I can't keep taking days.
no, because we gotta pay these bills, baby. Because right now
Right.
you mentally down, so I gotta step up and
Somebody
vice
gotta
versa.
be mentally up.
Right, my Maddie. So so if we need to seek professional help, hey, I'm gonna help you find that.
Right. I mean that makes sense.
But
I
that
just-
person also has to be accepting to get help or
Mhm.
want to get help to help themselves mentally.
Mm-hmm. And I think therapy is good for everybody. Like seriously, a lot of people be like, "Oh, I don't need no therapist," but you should try it one time. Even myself, I have tried it one time. No, maybe twice.
It can be expensive though.
Yeah, it can be. And
They really can.
then I found myself
We really
the therapy. I'm giving counseling to I said, oh hell no.
So you get counselors, therapists.
I said, you know what?
Or they
Let
tell
me
their story.
Yeah, so I
This is my
said,
time.
let me go
See,
back to
I
my
was
therapy
self-disclosure.
at 10 o'clock, get in my truck and drive, because I could always come up. I got a sharp mind where I can always figure it out myself. A therapist to me is someone I could just vent to. It's been times I had called the therapist and like, I just want to say fuck everything, fuck these kids, fuck these bills. I just really want to just say this shit.
Right,
today,
because you just want to deal with yourself. You just done. You just right. Hell yeah.
So
But I feel like, to get to that point, you have to be. A lot of people aren't aware. I'm not gonna say not aware of their mental health, but like not in touch with their mental health.
They're not emotionally attentive enough to. Well,
Or self-aware.
right,
Yeah.
self-aware or emotionally attentive enough to know what's going on with that self.
So
a lot.
some people ignore their mental
And I
health.
say
That's
that
why I
because
said
I have been there. I've been to that point where I'm blaming my mama, my cousins. I'm blaming every damn body for what's going on within me, right?
No,
And then you can't heal. You can't heal that way when you
No.
blaming everybody.
no, you gotta take account. That's
Right.
why I say the therapy. I talked to one 2 times, and for the first one was I found out I'm counseling them.
Mhm.
Then the second one is like I called and say when it was time for the section. Fuck everything, fuck these bills, fuck these kids, fuck the career. Like I just need to tell somebody that, and that
Right.
ended that section. You know, because
Right.
it's like I just needed someone to
You
vent
just
to
need to
at that
send
moment.
that out in the air. That I just shit. Sometimes I just don't give a damn.
Yeah, I just want to say
Right.
fuck everything.
I mean, but that doesn't mean a lot of people sometimes don't give a fuck. That doesn't mean you bad. That doesn't mean you're negative.
No.
It just means sometimes shit. I'm at a point of just shit.
Yeah.
Like, where am I going from here? Like, what the hell is going on? Like, you just at a point of a railroad and you don't know which direction to go. Should I go left? Should I go right? Should I go forward? Shit. I might just need to go back and talk to somebody. I might just need to. You don't know which way to go. That's,
I mean, I never go back. And what I mean by that, I just.
I'm sorry. I know. Go ahead. Go ahead. Talk.
There goes that.
Go ahead. Talk. Go ahead. I'm keeping all this. Go ahead. I'm keeping all this. Go ahead. Talk.
No, just with a lot of stuff, I just do not go back. Like,
Yeah.
I just push forward. Once I tried it, I close the chapter and I move on. Like, because whatever I do, I give my all.
that
That
goes back to growing though. You gotta grow to get to that point.
yeah,
It's
I
not
can't.
gonna
Like, so one thing I don't do when I'm in that crossroad,
Right.
I don't go back. Either I'm gonna go left or right.
See,
But I can't go back because I already know where I came from that. And no, that's gonna make things, depending on the situation, more toxic. And I just can't do that.
See, reasons like this is why I created this show. Like me myself, I feel like going back is a safe place for me. I think a lot of people feel like that. Going back and staying with people and staying in relationships and staying with people who's hindering you, who's abusing you verbally, spiritually, emotionally, staying in toxic relationships. I just feel like in stagnant relationships, I feel like a lot of people feel like staying in those places make them feel safe because now they don't have to deal with somebody new. They don't have to. Right? How ironic is that?
No, that's crazy because
Seems
I
like
heard
a
people.
form of fear.
It might feel like
It
might feel like a trauma bond. It might feel like
Yeah.
a toxic relationship. But what it is it's safe because now I don't have to like me.
It's
I
safe
don't
to an extent.
like me. I don't like dealing with new people. Right? I don't like. You're not gonna see me in no club. You're not gonna see me
That
anywhere.
don't mean you
You're not
gotta
gonna-
be in a club to be social.
I'm social right now, but you're not gonna find me in places like that, right? So, of course, it's gonna be safer for me to deal with somebody I have dealt with in the past. Of course, it's gonna be safe for me to deal with somebody I know, right? Because now I don't have to open up to somebody that I don't really know that can hurt
Bullshit.
who I am now.
It's on.
It's bullshit.
I'm gonna tell you why. Because
Damn.
your information and your past is on a need to know basis. Like when I meet people and I'm social,
Yeah.
You tell them what you want.
Exactly. Like people,
Yeah.
my friends will even
You
say,
need nobody
she's
to
a
tell
damn
you the whole
mystery.
story.
We don't know.
Yeah.
We don't know too much what Pam do, but what she tell us.
Yeah.
And these are my close friends because it's on a need to know basis. Some
Yeah.
things you can keep to yourself because it's your business. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm just not gonna just from old to new and just say this is what it is and nah.
Right.
I'm not just gonna open up like that. That's why it's therapy out there. You know, therapy.
So let me tell you this. So you don't feel like you should open up in a relationship? Or do you feel like you should open up to anybody, or should you keep everything you've been through to yourself? Is that what you're telling me?
I don't say that. I
Do
just
y'all?
say,
Do you feel like that? Do you feel like that?
as the person,
That's open to the panel. Everybody at the panel feel like what they've been through, their trials and tribulations, they should keep them to themselves. Do you feel like that?
In a relationship, you gotta like be open with it.
Should it be a marriage or just a normal relationship?
It just depends.
yeah,
Yeah.
you'll feel it.
Yeah.
You'll feel it. It's like a
What
feel.
about you? How you feel about
I
it?
agree.
Tina?
It depends.
So you feel like it depends on the relationship if you should open up to the things you've been through, or should it be certain things you tell this person? So now you're in a relationship. So now y'all all agreeing to
One
be
in a relationship
hold
is
on.
certain things because I'm not telling you everything.
So now y'all all saying y'all all agreeing to be in a relationship 60-40 before you even be in a relationship. So now y'all all saying y'all be in a relationship. Y'all not even giving that person 100%.
I mean,
so
but,
ho. So how can you expect another person to give you 100%
I
already
didn't
in a
say they need to
relationship?
give me 100.
So now you're saying a person should give you partial in the beginning of a relationship. So now you should be able to accept lies, bullshit, and everything else if you already given the person.
But damn, if you put it all out there on the table, you got to spend a lifetime with someone,
I mean,
and you put it all out there on the
make it make
table.
sense.
Why am I
About to.
giving you everything, or it's telling you everything about me, and I don't even know if we getting married? That's the point.
So who's to tell when you
That's why it's
know?
called dating.
So who's to tell when you know when to tell the person the truth?
You
now,
know.
So now I'm out
You
to tell
know
you
things
lies,
yourself.
and I'm out to tell you lies and bullshit.
Not
so I feel
lies,
like-
you ain't got to say nothing.
Matter of fact, I ain't gonna tell you nothing. Matter of fact, you asked me how many kids I got, where I've been, where I ain't
That's
gotta tell you
different.
nothing.
That's obvious.
So now you're saying it's based on how I feel.
What I'm saying is
Y'all
your
all
kids.
over the place.
No,
And
it's not.
especially if you ain't married, like you don't
Y'all
want to
all
give them
over
over
the
the
place.
You
place.
ain't gotta. No, you're not obligated to.
I feel like this. This is how I be. In the beginning, I used to tell people, last probably right now, out here to this day, don't know
Well, how many healthy relationships have you had then?
in a whole relationship?
Yeah, all these.
None.
Exactly, because you
Zero.
just
like
fuck
it might be you.
Exactly, and
Damn,
that's all I'm saying.
crazy.
And I love you to death, but I'm just saying,
No,
you just
listen.
like here go the house and it's for sale.
No, I'm not gonna get them. I'm not giving everybody everything. But this is,
No. You try to bash
A
us, boy.
100. That's what you told us.
no, that's not what I'm telling you.
Oh, so
What
you're
I'm telling
giving them 50,
Listen.
40.
Now,
And we
y'all-
not being
How much you
real.
give
I'm gonna let me know when I can talk.
How much you giving them?
Listen.
That's what I
This
want
is
to
the
know.
dating phrase.
No, listen. This is my
Yeah,
question
we
to y'all.
talking about-
I want to know, when do y'all feel like? So you telling me it's a point in time when I should tell this person about me for real. But right now, I'm gonna tell this person 50% here, 20% here, then 30% over here.
I don't feel like you should tell somebody about you
Y'all
or
shaking
your
your head? Y'all don't
life
know.
all the right off the bat.
Right.
You have to
Right.
grow
Right.
and learn
Mhm.
and know when the time is right.
Right.
To
Mhm.
tell
I just want to
somebody
know.
about
I just want to know how y'all
certain
feel
things
about it.
that
So
have
you
went
feel-
on in your
This
life.
sounds
So
like
y'all
pillow
feel
talk
that
like
you should tell a
motherfucker.
person about it. So let me ask you this. So do y'all feel like y'all? So you shouldn't tell
It's
nobody
not
that's
about
gonna tell
me.
you.
You
It's
know
not about
what's
me
going on
personally.
now.
Because it's
Look,
really.
he said it. It would just be
And we all
gripping.
do.
What you say? You say what?
So you feel like you shouldn't tell nobody nothing about
Because
yourself?
right now,
He said it's levels to it. That is that.
Because
is
right
that
now,
what
I'm
it is.
asking y'all to be concise about what y'all
Yeah, but
saying.
you
I
got to
just wanna
feel
know
the
because
vibe.
y'all
Just
all
like
over
you
the
always.
place.
No, we
But we
not.
already
I agree with
said
you,
you
Y'all all
know
over
and
the
you can
place.
feel though.
That's
You're
all.
all
Yeah.
I'm very. Now,
What do you? How do you feel?
No,
You want to
you're
know
not.
how you? Because you
How do
also
I
just
feel
said
about a
100,
relationship?
100.
No,
What you
I was
said.
telling you, if you're not telling a person, if you're telling a person, I mean, listen, if y'all not gonna lie to you, I feel
He's
this.
saying that.
Choose
I'm
what you
saying,
just said.
But listen,
You've been a lie your whole
I
life.
don't know how old I am right now today.
But
But anyway,
but no,
I just want to know.
listen,
I just want to know
so
how
listen.
y'all feel about it. Do you feel?
Yeah,
Do
yeah.
y'all feel that
No,
you should tell
I
a
ain't gonna
person
lie to
about
you.
yourself?
Oh, I
I've been
know.
a liar my whole life, so nah,
y'all.
it's females.
It's not about
that
me.
don't
Levels.
get it. It's not about me
Thank
personally.
you.
Because it's people right now that can't
And
tell
look,
you
he
nothing.
said it. And with this, we're being.
Nah, you can't. You can't. Ain't gonna say no nigga. Don't trust no man until because right now.
He said it's
you
level
should know.
to it. That is
Yeah,
that. Not
because
it
right
is
now
that,
people
sir.
that can't tell you anything about me. But I just want to know.
Nah, I agree with that point.
I just want to know.
I like that term.
Y'all.
It's
how you-
levels to
y'all-
it. I agree.
I'm trusting
I agree
you.
with JJ. He
Trust
said
the
it's
man.
levels, and I agree.
Oh, okay.
But
That's all I want.
all us men.
Now,
think
do I
you
feel
something. Now,
What do you? How do you feel? We want to know. How
I
you
ain't gonna
feel?
How do I feel about a relationship?
Every man, every female.
I've been a liar my whole life. Everybody ain't
started
been.
no
That
more.
tell us everything we need.
But
But
I mean,
anyway,
listen, I'm not gonna lie to you.
Podcast,
Y'all
He's saying that. I
Choose
said,
what you
like,
just said.
Until next time. Today, I appreciate my guests. My guest was Javonte, Tasia, and Pam. I appreciate y'all for coming by today, and I appreciate y'all for viewing. Thank you.
Mike, that's the wave.